So what is healing? You know, like the process of healing, which is like something that everybody is talking about. I'm starting a process of healing. I'm going to a mode of like getting to know myself. So let us define what healing is and how can we approach it from a realistic perspective? Because it's actually something that is being very trending. And I think that not everybody actually understands what the process is about. Like, what could you share us about that?
So the healing process is very wide. It never finishes. I think we are all our lives going through a healing process because our life is full of up and downs. So we don't live linear. So when you start being in this process because you want to be more connected to yourself, there's something around you telling you that you have to fix something to feel better, to feel happier, to feel lighter, because you are storing so much anger, so many emotions you didn't process. So when you start in this process, at the end, you will start reacting differently to the situations of life. It doesn't mean you're not going to suffer. I mean, bad things will happen, good things will happen. You're going to be open for the joy and also for the pain.
Yeah.
So healing means that you are really going to feel things. It doesn't mean you're going to be happy all forever.
Yeah.
It means that you are going to start reacting differently from a wiser perspective, from more connected to your essence perspective, and also connected to the real reality. Because we live in a world where we are rushing, where we are living in our work and then weekend, and then on the weekend I just enjoy having dinner, that's it. But if you feel this is empty, I mean, you want something else, and that you are overreacting sometimes, that you are living in a character and you want to fix it. So you can start this healing process to look inside, and look inside means feeling. Then when you are in this process, you are going to react differently. You're going to take better decisions according to a wiser part of yourself.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love the word feeling, because actually it actually even rhythms. Healing is feeling, you know, and it's something that is so true. Like healing is learning to feel life, because we think we live, but we are in a constant rush of avoiding feeling. So for example, when somebody gets home and it's alone after work, what is the first thing people do? Find ways to get entertained. And entertainment, which is a very healthy thing in a moderate, you know, amount, but when it becomes excessive, entertainment in excess, what we are trying to do is trying to escape the feeling. And then when you ask people, what do you feel when you are alone in a room, silent, without the TV, without music, without company? What is it that you feel? And they feel, many people say, I just feel an emptiness that it's overwhelming, and I don't wanna go there. So that is a clear indication that the soul is calling, because healing is feeling the void and going in it with the trust that you're gonna find a lot of amazing things. But the entry is scary. And the reason why healing is something that 100% of humanity, not 99, 100% of humanity need to do, is because a simple reason: we forget that we are souls incarnated in a human body to experience humanity. And the moment that we start growing, we forget who we are. So we start living a lot of experiences that can be traumatic, that can be painful because of the disconnection from our parents, from the environment, from the early age, etc., the lineage, the family trees, memories that we bring from past lives. So all that affect us, and we grow a very thick skin, a carcass, which we call ego, in order to protect ourselves. And it's fine, it's needed, but there is a moment where that carcass is so thick that we forget who we truly are. So healing is a process of reconnecting to our true essence that we forgot in this process of life.
I think, or I would say, that healing is remembering. Remembering who we are. Who are you? Are you your job? Are you your family? Are you your name and what you've done in the past? Who are you? So we have to remember what we're here for. And this is the soul calling. But as you said, our soul is calling us to be more connected. We are disconnected from everything. We are disconnected from nature. We're now here living in Dubai. People are also very disconnected from one another. We are disconnected from our own nature, from ourselves, from our essence. Sometimes we feel we always have to be okay. We have to show ourselves that we are fine, that everything is okay, that we are doing well in our job, that we are doing well in our family, in our daily life. But we are very disconnected from each other.
It is very interesting that when we meet someone, it is so difficult for us to introduce ourselves. Like somebody asks us, who are you? Nobody asks you, who are you? Like, oh, tell me about yourself.
Yes.
And then everybody has a narrative. And that narrative is not invalid, but it's not who you truly are. Especially when they start asking you, define yourself. Oh, I'm strong. I am this, I'm that. Yes and no. Yes, because this is probably something that it's related to your astrological expectation, your numerology, your patterns, etc. But there is an added part, which is what we have acquired through experiences that told us that we have to find ways to feel safe. So we, for example, create little layers like, don't mention this, mention that, portray yourself in this way, portray yourself in that way. Do not show this vulnerability. And then we end up believing it. And then we carry a personality, and inside of us, it's like we have vulnerable moments. We are moments in which not always we react in the way that we portrayed ourselves. And it is so scary for humans to introduce themselves as they are, because we don't even know who we are to start with.
Yeah, we have created a character to survive. Yeah. So we live in a survival mode. Also, there's a research that says that 70% of people will suffer traumatic situations, but only around 5% of them will ask for help to solve their problems, to feel them, to face them, and to overcome all the situations. So we live in a society of people who are hurt and who are hurting others too.
Yeah. So,
absolutely, yes. This is the society we live in today. But I think there's a general awakening of people who start being aware of these situations and want to feel better inside, be more connected to themselves, being more connected to the world and the others. Because what's the real reality?
I love the word, the real reality.
What is it?
The real reality is amazing. Like it's not redundant, even if it sounds redundant. It's not, because we are not living like a fantasy, but it's not their ultimate reality. That is the truth. Actually, even if we go a little bit back to where everything starts, what makes a person feel the call of healing is the moments of breakdown, where they've grown, they've learned, they've practiced, they've created their personality. It seems to be functioning, but there is a moment where things start feeling awkward. Like, this is not working anymore. I cannot sustain this image anymore. I cannot sustain this character anymore. So there is a collapse. And this is when people reach for help.
Yes.
Interestingly, nobody come and say, I mean, it's very rare that people come and say, I want to do a healing process. Or I want to do a revamping of my life. No, the first step of a healing process is people that want to go back to how they were when they were feeling comfortable.
Exactly.
That is the first, like, people say, like, I just want my life as it was. I had an amazing job. I had an amazing relationship. I had an amazing life. Then this thing happened, and I just want to go back to my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never going to come back. What do you think?
I think that's we have to leave the past behind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to go back to a period of time where you were happier, you have to just like hold it. You had such an amazing time. You have amazing memories, but the process of leaving is moving forward. So live the present. How can you make your present time as comfortable, as happy as you were before? So if you are thinking of the past in such a good way, there's something in the present you have to change. Because there's something, or there were some choices you've made that took you to a present you don't like. So how can you change it? You have to go through a process to be happy in the present moment.
Because what happens sometimes is like we want to go back to the memory we have of the past where we felt happy. And sometimes even if we are surrounded by the same people and the same environment, we don't find the same joy because there is something within us that has grown. And when that part of us has grown, in reality, it's just let's say a higher level of consciousness enter within us. I call it enter. It could be called awakening. Enter, awaken, something awaken within us. So the things that used to make me happy, it's like a level of wisdom and maturity where I'm not enjoying them in the same way. So the problem is when we want to stay frozen and we want life to remain the same, and we are already in a level where our soul is calling us for a different lifestyle. And in that lifestyle, it's when we have the crisis comes where the soul is putting me here, but I want to go back here to replicate the happy moments that I was having here, which were happy at that moment. It's like being 35 and wanting to go back to the times when you were in school or university because you had a lot of fun. But you're going to go back there. You're not going to fit. Your age gap is not going to fit in those environments. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a look into the past that, yes, I mean, if you took choices that are not making you happy today, probably if you are aware of it, you can go back to peace. But there are also situations that happen because the soul is doing a process of growth as well and tell you, this is not where we want to live anymore. We want to live a different experience. And this is when the breakdown happens. And this is the initial resistance, that people have. Because in our search of security, we miss the point that the real security is not external. Because the world is in constant changing. Life is constant change. The real security is connection with your real self, with the real reality.
Exactly. And at some point when you grow spiritually, or when you have higher awareness and you vibrate differently and your frequency is different, that's not much the life you were having. So people start living from your side, or you start living their side, or you can start feeling that all your life is falling apart. Your job, your family, your friends, you're depressed. Enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
It's hard, but enjoy this moment and trust that everything falls apart because very better things are coming.
Yes, exactly.
And for these better things to come, you need to make space. And sometimes it's not a little bit of space. It's like you have to change your life completely.
Yeah.
So if you want to change your life, because sometimes we ask for things, I want to change my life, I want to live better, I want to be happier, I want to have a better job. Okay, so the universe will give you that. But first, you will go through a process. So I would say just trust the process and keep walking. Yeah. Keep going. Ask for help. Look for things that nurture your soul, nurture you inside. Stop doing the things that don't give you joy, don't give you security, because this is what it's supposed to do. So do the things that nurture your inner self, your soul.
Yeah, exactly. And in that, it's a process of alchemy. So the first step is this awareness that I'm not happy with how I'm living. And then I enter in an inner process of self-exploration. Our tendency is to try to find guilty ones outside. For example, I came late because the traffic was bad. We are pretty much incapable of saying, I made a mistake, I woke up late, we have difficulties assuming our role in the circumstances. When we talk about why did I break up with someone, it's like that person was like that. It's like the first tendency to find guilty people outside or put the burden on someone else. And I'm not saying that the other parties don't share a responsibility, but we have a responsibility in our circumstance. So going back to the point is like we start finding patterns, and the patterns are found in first the families. And yes, you find your mother and your father and your ancestors behaving in a certain way that mark pretty much your patterns. So there is this first throwing the responsibility at them, okay? Because they were like that. And then in the process of healing that, you understand that your soul had a mission to bring you with this group of people because you have the same program that those other souls. So you come collectively together in order to do a collective healing for the family tree. So you are not the victim of your family tree. You are a soul who came with the mission of healing those exact patterns that you are finding in your parents. So that means that the first achievement in the healing process is coming out of a lineal view and going up and see our life as an observer. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, when you go through all this process, and sometimes we're in pain. When you're in pain and you're hurt and you don't know why this happened to you and why you are in this situation, sometimes you have like a voice telling you something wiser. So this is your higher consciousness. There are a lot of the levels of consciousness, but you have to be here in the observer. You have to be here analyzing why you got yourself in this situation and how you are reacting to this situation and what you have to learn from that situation. So when you are here in the observer, observing from wider or higher perspective, you can overcome situations and you can change the patterns, because normally, as you said, the patterns come from our family. When we attract the kind of partners, men or women, that we find toxic, for example, or if we repeat the same situations at work, what you have to learn from that, how to get out of that situation, how to shift your frequency so you stop having that situations you don't like. No, so you have to be here in the observer. And when you are here, most of the time, you can go higher. And there's another observer observing this one that is higher than your ego and your character. So you have to go in a wider perspective. And you can use different tools to do that. With breathwork, for example, is what I do. I take people to altered states of consciousness. That means a dream. It can be a very calm state of meditation, a different state from what you're used to. So in this state, altered, going wider, having a wider, higher perspective of your situation, feeling that you are much more than your ego and your character, feeling you are connected to something higher. We are all intuitives. We are all able to connect to spirits. We are all able to connect to higher, I don't know, how would you say it? Higher
dimensions.
Yes, higher realms or dimensions.
Higher realms, yes.
We are all able to do that. So we need to find the tools to go deeper and higher and see our situations from a perspective where we can give a solution.
So basically with the breath work, what you do is like the person enter in an altered state of consciousness due to the relaxation.
Yes.
The ego sleeps, let's say tones
your ego
down,
or your mind quiets.
Your mind gets quiet.
Because
and then
the mind is tricky.
And then you go up. And then in that altered state of consciousness, you can see, feel different experiences that are not predictable.
No, you cannot predict. You can go,
but they are needed.
Yes, you can go with an intention.
Okay.
But you get to a state of relaxation where you give your body, your spirit permission to show you what you need to see today. Sometimes it's going to be specific images from the past that you are going to just exhale and release, let go, because we are attached to many things and we are holding them. So we need to let them go. Sometimes it's going to be images. Sometimes it's going to be colors, or sometimes we're going to be in the body. It depends on the person and the process you are in. But of course, you have to connect with something that is giving you weight, something you need to release, some energies that are stuck in the body. When you don't feel the things because you didn't have the tools, for example, in the past, you said, okay, I don't have time for this right now, so I keep it for later. Yeah. This later is your body. This later is your unconscious. So the situations are stuck in your nervous system, are stuck in your body, are stuck in the way you react and respond to situations. So you have to enter a process on finding the tools to release that, to face them, to face this situation with a higher perspective, with a higher or wider awareness of what it is, and just let them go. Because you need to create space for other things to come, and you need to be lighter in your life, but stop being attached to the things of the past.
So basically through the breathing, every time we inhale and exhale in that state of meditation, let's call it, we are releasing whatever it is that our soul needs to release. But let's say it's like certain toxicity patterns, or we are regulating our nervous system so that we can respond different to circumstances. Is it that? For example, fears, anger, sadness, like what kind of emotions get released?
Yes, we can talk about anxiety, for example.
Anxiety.
Anxiety is something that most people suffer. So how can the breathwork help this anxiety? Okay. So anxiety comes from situations, emotions, feelings that we didn't want to feel, and we don't know what it is. Sometimes we think we have anxiety for a situation at work, for example, but we go on holidays, come back, and we are in anxiety again. So what can you do? You need to open. You really need to open and see inside what's going on, because probably this anxiety comes from the past. And the mind is tricky. So we can go to therapy, we can talk, but we talk from our ego. We talk from our character. We talk from our mind, and we have to quiet the mind and let the body speak, because the body is the perfect map of experiences. So all the emotions that are stuck in the body are calling you to be released. Sometimes when we breath, like in a private session or together, when we are in a breathwork session, you get this state of altered consciousness. You get this deep relaxation that some parts of your body start like vibrating or feeling even pain, and it's stuck memories that want to be released. So we do it through the exhale. We exhale any memory.
Is the cleansing.
As an energetic cleansing to make space. Like we trust the air inside of your body to just release, vanish all the tensions that you are just holding.
It's like you are inhaling consciousness.
Consciousness.
What are you inhaling? Consciousness. Are you inhaling God? Are you inhaling consciousness?
I would say, you are inhaling new energy.
New energy.
Cleaner. Crystalline. Pure.
Amazing.
From a different perspective of having the faith that you can heal your body.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So you are inhaling this white light, this crystalline energy, pure, this new vibration, this new frequency, and you're letting go of the old, the things that you don't want anymore.
The beauty of it is that, of course, we need to be directed and by someone who is a practitioner of breathwork, and second, a technique, and a third, the practitioner needs to have the capacity of contention. However, the interesting part is that you don't need nothing except your own body and your natural mechanism of what you never stop doing, which is inhaling and exhaling.
Yes.
Just surviving. In a conscious way. Just shift it to a conscious way of breathing in order to release what your body doesn't need anymore.
Yeah. And what is also interesting is that we are breathing to be alive, of course, no? We are breathing to survive. But when you control your breath and through different techniques you control it, you can balance your nervous system, and your nervous system controls you. So the only tool you have to balance, find clarity, find calmness, and release what you don't need is breath.
Incredible, because you see the nervous system today, one of the important things that we need to understand about the nervous system is that our nervous system is, like, let's say, programmed to act in a certain or to respond in a certain way. And our consciousness might tell us, I don't want this kind of patterns. I don't want this kind of relationships. I don't want this kind of responses. However, when we are under the triggering situations, many times, most of the time, we don't know how to control ourselves to respond different, because we are responding to the programming of our nervous system. So I'll give a clear example. Let's say that a person is used to toxic patterns in relationships, and this person is feeling attracted constantly and attracts all the time people that are quite toxic. And the conscious part of them, the rational part of them says, I don't want this kind of relationships anymore. However, when they are in front of a person that would have a different frequency, that don't have the toxic pattern, they don't feel attracted because their nervous system is connected to the toxic pattern. So it's interesting how through breath work, we can become conscious and eliminate these layers of toxicity so that the nervous system, let's call it reprogram, right? So that I can take different choices in life. Slowly with my inner work, breath work and other tools. But this is exactly how it works. Sometimes we got the information here. Sometimes we are super aware of the pattern, which is the first step of healing, taking that consciousness. But then we don't know how to change it. We don't know how to stop feeling things like, for example, lack of entitlement, lack of self-esteem, or we don't know how to stop feeling attracted to people that are harmful. We don't know how to stop feeling insecure. We don't know how to stop feeling afraid, attached, codependent. We are aware, I have a codependent tendency, okay, but I don't know how to get rid of it. So that's where these kind of tools enter in order to release us from those.
Exactly.
From those.
You need to find the practices or the practitioners that could help you, because they're not going to heal you. You are going to heal yourself.
Correct.
So they have to guide you on how you can process all these memories, patterns, because our nervous system is in comfort zone. Maybe in the toxicity too, as you just said.
It is safe. It's what it knows.
Yes. So we are comfortable in the patterns, in the situations we already know, even if they are not good for us.
Even if the body feels unsafe.
Exactly.
The memory feels safe.
Exactly.
And sometimes when the nervous system is altered, which is majority of humans, the real safe situations make you feel safe, but your mind is scared because it doesn't recognize this situation, because our mind works based on memory, and memory stores events and give it an interpretation, but the memory have no capacity of analyzing an unknown situation. The only part of us that could guide us to an unknown situation in safety is our intuition, which is not our mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also we need to be more connected to our body.
Listen to our body.
Listen to our body. Our body is talking to us all the time.
Exactly.
So if we have some kind of illness, some pain, some tension somewhere, it's giving us information. So we have to sit down with this pain, with this tension, and really look inside where it comes from and what can we do to solve it. How many times we've heard of people, me, myself, that you have this illness and there's no treatment, so there's nothing we can really do. So what's the solution? Look inside, because your body is talking to you.
Exactly.
There's a reason why this tension, this illness is there. There's a reason. So give it space. Face your memories. Face the things, all the situations you couldn't face in the past, and start cleaning.
Yeah.
Clean your energy, clean your system, clean your family system, your family tree too. Because sometimes I think we're here because we have the responsibility to clean all those memories of our family system.
Yeah.
And we are nowadays living in a world where we are allowed to do it.
Yes.
People have had an awakening.
Yeah.
So how many holistic practices are accepted and are very common, very normal nowadays? Like family constellations, tarot, healing, energy healing.
Yes, correct.
So how can you use it?
Yes.
For example, what you do, tarot, to use it as a therapeutic tool.
Yes.
For people to heal.
So basically, the work that I do is to use 3 tools mainly. I'm using 3 tools in the actual moment, which is tarot, astrology, and Akashic Records reading. But these are the tools where my purpose is to take the person that is in front of me to see the patterns. So my work is about understanding the pattern, understanding the origin of the pattern. The origins of the pattern can be family. Part of it is family tree. There is another associated part, which is past lives. And for those that do not agree or do not believe in past lives, you can comprehend it as memories of your ancestors as well, which goes back to family patterns, or psychic attacks that you're having from lower dense entities, that what we call spiritual attacks, that are like energetic viruses that get attached to us when our frequency, our vibration is really low. Mm-hmm. So in a session, basically, the person comes with questions like, I lost my job, I'm in a bad relationship with my partner, I have this issue with my children, I don't feel happy about this, I have problems in this and that. So through these tools, for example, if we take, let's say, astrology, through a birth chart interpretation, we can analyze the map of the soul, because my job is to take the person, to take them out of the lineal vision of life, take them up to the observer, and if they cannot remember, at least I am reminding them of the purpose and the plan they brought down when they came to this earth. And that is visible in a birth chart. It's like the map. So the person starts feeling, okay, this is why I have had these issues. Because we need to remember that the difficulties are our let's say, our masters of reality, that bring us awareness of the work that we came to do on this earth. There was no mistake in your past. The worst scenarios that you went through were so much needed for you to have a process of awakening, because they were they were like the situations that call your attention to look for higher purpose. So through the tarot, also, it's more intimate, because astrology can give us a general vision. Through transits, we can see what's actually going on, but it's a very general vision. When we have a session of tarot, a therapeutic tarot approach, it's not for predicting. We can do a forecast without any doubt, because the tarot pretty much tells us how's the energy today. But the purpose of a therapeutic tarot, for example, I think is the best way is to explain it with an example. Let's say that somebody asks me, am I going to get that job? And then I can read the energy. And let's say that the answer, it seems to be blocked. Then the therapeutic tarot does not stop and no, you're not going to get that job, like search for another one. No, the therapeutic tarot will take you to understand what is blocking your life from achieving your best possible future. So it's a call of attention in which we put literally the cards on the table so that you understand what is going in a direction which is not aligned. And interestingly, we not always know ourselves as we think. For example, some people might tell me, I don't have a relationship. I haven't had a relationship in years, and I really want to get in a relationship, and I don't know why I don't match anyone. And many times, we find out that you don't want a relationship. You think you want from your mind, from the standards, because you have a certain age, because societal standards tell you, because people ask you all the time, why are you alone? When are you going to have kids? But we understand that the soul is having another process of loneliness for certain reasons and purposes. Mm-hmm. So tarot, astrology, and even Akashic Records are the tools that I use to put the truth on the table.
Exactly. And this is what I really like about your tarot reading. Yeah. And what I find different from the others is that there are many possible futures. So you tell people what they need to work what they need to change so they achieve their best one.
Yes.
It's not just this is going to happen to you and you will find love this month. No. It's like you will find whatever you want, you're going to get it.
Exactly.
So you can tell people what they need to do. What's the blockage? What they need to change just to get what they want.
Exactly, because the future, many people that come to a reading for first time is like, am I going to get married? Am I going to do this? Okay. So the first thing that we need to understand is that the destiny, there are certain things that we call canonic truths that they are going to happen, yes or yes. But majority of things are possibilities. Mm-hmm. So we call them different timelines. The timelines is not that you're going to go 30 years ahead or nothing. Different timelines is that if I choose a direction, it will take me into this path. If I choose another direction, it will take me in this path. So let's say that I have 5, 6 possibilities. Let's just to give an example. We can have many more, but let's say we have 5 possibilities. The approach that I do with the tarot, because you see, like when you come to me, you're standing in a timeline mm-hmm. with your blocks, with your obstacles, with your mindset. If I only read yes or no, you're going to get what you want or not. I am maintaining you in that timeline that obviously is not being satisfactory. That's why you're coming to a mm-hmm. reading. Yeah. You know what I mean? So then my purpose as a therapist is to tell you through the tarot, is to tell you, you're standing in this timeline because you have this block, because you have this pattern, so I have mixed the tarot. Not only me, I mean, this is like an ancestral tool, but we've gone to like mix the tarot with other tools like family constellations, different forms of healing, because the tarot has that capacity, that range. We don't know it, but it is a very powerful tool. Mm-hmm. So where are you standing? How can you change your timeline and go to a healthier one? Mm-hmm. That is the real purpose of a therapeutic tarot session.
And you said something very interesting too about what you want, but what your heart wants.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There is a big difference.
There's a big difference. Yes. And this is the tool, the most important thing for manifestation. Because you think about something you want and you say it, but if you don't feel it here, you need to feel you deserve it. And for that, you have to open the heart, mm-hmm. because we go through the world with our heart closed, not to feel, not to be hurt. So we really need to open the heart and being aware of how much we deserve. So when these 3 things are aligned, manifestation happens. Mm-hmm. Amazing thing happens. We are closer to God.
Yes. Many people, it's like, when in the sessions, it's very interesting. It's very confrontative, mm-hmm. and a person can go from crying to laugh when I open the cards and say, like I guide in the session, suggest certain questions. If I leave the questions only to the client is talking from the ego, which is normal. Mm-hmm. So as a therapist, my job is to guide the session to take this person to a better situation. So it's very interesting because I have seen during my sessions moments where people go from crying and complaining and I'm suffering to when we do that, like that question, like let's ask, what is your soul really wanting? Mm-hmm. And the answer is completely different. People start laughing. Yeah. Because we are in this dissonance between mm-hmm. our ego mm-hmm. and our soul. So maybe we could explain a little bit mm-hmm. what the ego is. And for me, the ego is this motor that we have, what we need on this earth in order to operate, because it stores the information of our program. You are born in this country, with this family, in this gender, in this generation, you study this, you did that, this is your job, this is your profession, these are your experiences. So it's like a database, which is very needed, which we need in order to operate. The problem is when that database control us and disconnect us from our soul voice. Because the one that needs to be in charge of our lives is not the ego. The ego should be working for the soul. The center where we connect with our soul is the heart. And the center of our ego is the mind. In the mind, we have, like in the brain, we have the two hemispheres. We have an exchange of feminine and masculine energy, blah, blah, blah. We have a mental process, blah, blah, blah. But the heart, which is the throne of the soul, is the one that needs to be in charge.
Exactly. And when you operate from the heart, amazing things happen.
Exactly.
So the heart is our commander, not the mind. So we need to be more connected with our inner self, with our essence, with our inner voice. We can call it soul, or we can call it inner voice, something that is telling us to escape from one place or to achieve something. No, when you want like to create a project, you don't know how, but you feel that you really want it. It's your soul calling. It's your soul telling you what's the path. So you just have to trust life, trust the process, keep walking, keep working also on yourself to be open from the heart for all these amazing things to happen.
Yes.
And I also wanted to talk about your center of creation, which is the womb.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. This is our center of intuition. As I said, we are all intuitives. But the women, I mean, this is our real center of creation. And throughout the years, it's been silent. So our power has been hidden. So there's a lot of memories of abuse, of rejection, of pain that we need to start cleaning in order to activate our womb. It's not just cleaning, it's an activation of this intuition. Because women, we are the channel. We are a channel where the spirit is embodied. We are naturally connected to something much, much, much higher, to the great spirits. So we need to remember again and that we need to clean all those memories in our womb in order to be more intuitive, in order to vibrate higher, and in order to create, this is our center of creation, create the world we're here to create.
It's super interesting because the way that we got disconnected was through making us forget the center of power as the womb, and letting the womb only as an organ to produce babies, which it's a big thing because it's a producer of life.
It is.
And we went up to the mind to operate from a very masculine energy of like reasoning, direction, objectives, mental, like mental battle and stuff. And then we went up to the mind and we forgot the power of the womb. And when we forgot the power of the womb, we disconnected from our feminine center. Actually, the heart center is universal for men and female. The mind, is a masculine center, and men tend to be way more rational than women and manage the reason in a let's say in a way that it can take them to achieve the goals that they need in order to create life on the planet. We as well, I'm not saying we don't, but our center of creation is the womb, and we forgot about it. And what's the, like, according to you, what was the effect of it, or what has happened?
We have been just we don't believe we have the right to express ourselves. We do not trust our intuition. We are fighting against our nature. For example, when we have our periods, how many women are in pure pain? How many women reject it?
Yes.
When it's sacred, I mean, it's a moment of the month where you are more intuitive, open. That's why sometimes you are at home, you cannot deal with anything because you are seeing that you cannot even stand the life where you live.
Yes.
So you need to really love your cycles, stop rejecting it, and use it. Because there are some times during that process, during that cycle, that you are so intuitive that you really have to stop and listen to it.
So there are more women that come to me in my sessions and tell me they are tired of running on the masculine energy, which is the mind, the effort, the struggle, because they don't know how to use their womb as a center of manifestation. Than men. For men, it's more natural to run on the mind. And the men also have a center of manifestation. It's an energetic womb, but let's like, because we have the physical organ, it's a resonator that when we activate it, we bring down the frequency we want. And so a way to use it, or the way to activate it, is to having a wish, a desire, an intention, and seeding it in the womb. And sitting, literally sitting and waiting for life to bring the opportunities. Exactly. When we do that simple exercise, we will be less exhausted than when we are rushing after the opportunities day and night. That we will have moments in which we have to operate with our masculine energy,
of course,
and search for the opportunities. But we can also balance it with the activation of our womb, and it will give us a much more pleasant life. Exactly. So what can you tell us about the womb, how to cleanse it, how to activate it?
So first, we need to listen to it, really sit down with ourselves, because as I said before, our body is talking to us. And our womb is really talking to us every month. So put your hands on it, meditate there, really visualize it and try to connect with it through meditation, for example. There are other practices, but you can just sit down at home and meditate and get connected to it. Why you're having so much pain, why you're having these illnesses, why you are having problems to have kids, for example. I mean, what's the womb telling you? And we don't sit down with it. We don't see that with it. We have to really listen to it and be connected and trust, because faith is the first and the most powerful thing.
Correct.
You have to have the faith that you're going to heal, that you're going to activate it, that you're going to be more connected, and have the faith that your intuition is right.
Correct. Actually, yes. Many women reject or see their period as their worst moment of the month. Instead of being the best, because the sensitivity that we are experiencing during that part of the month is a clear indication that, as you mentioned, that we cannot hold the life, the fakeness, and we are more connected to our soul. Our soul takes over during that. Our soul, our intuition takes over, our real nature, because we are intuitive creatures. We talk, our natural way of connecting or communication would be more tuned to I feel rather than I think. We think, of course we think.
Of course we have.
But our feeling, imagine if we can complement or complete ourselves, females and males, with each one in their energy, the masculine energy more into the I think, completing itself with the I feel of a feminine energy. We wouldn't be in this battle of genders.
Exactly.
Competing one another.
Competing, not between genders, but sometimes even between women.
Yes.
Why are we competing? Because when we are in women's cycles, they are magical. The energy is magical. So when we as women support each other, we thrive, which is our nature. When we thrive, we feel so relaxed. We feel so supported. So the natives say, in Colombia, the natives say, when you have your period, don't do absolutely nothing. don't do nothing. If you have to go to work, of course, like you can't just stay at home, but try to slow down. Slow down. It's your body, your cycle telling you to slow down. So you have to be surrounded by other women, even just to do nothing.
In many native communities around the world, because they were more connected to the cycles of life, especially in Latin America, the culture is very feminine. The shamanic cultures are very feminine, even male and female. The women's cycle is aligned with the moon.
Yes.
And they tend to have the cycle, most of them at the same time, their period.
Yes, when we get together, we align our cycles too.
Yeah.
And this is something we don't think, which is something that just happens.
How can we wrap up this beautiful talk? What would you advise?
I would advise to, at some point, look for the space to connect with yourself and your own nature.
Yeah. I think that pretty much wrap up the meaning of healing. Healing is feeling, is getting to know yourself.
Yes.
And is a natural process that your soul will eventually, sooner or later, call you to. So answer the call of your soul.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you, Lucía.
Thank you.